Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here, and it's fall.
It is?
It is. Hot-tober.
Hot-tober?
Hot-tober, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Good morning, I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And how are you, Jim?
I'm just great.
Your dog?
Dog's here, Jim's here. We have some great
don't bother
guests.
the dog right now. She's being really nice, and she's in her little basket over there.
She's being quiet.
Yeah.
I always imagine she's watching with her little tail wagging.
You know, if you notice behind us, there are some fall-colored leaves, and they are not real.
Well, because the real
reason-
ones are dark brown.
You know, as hot as it's been, you know, Tennessee is such a beautiful state.
It really is.
In the fall, people come from all over the country to go to Gatlinburg and see the colors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're going to have much color this year.
Everything's burnt up now. And
It's burnt up.
I don't remember it doing this much hot days in many years. I'm actually watering plants around my house.
And there's
me
3
too.
feet of snow in Montana.
Yeah.
I know I don't know what's
And
gonna
today's the
happen
first
here.
day of October, and it's going to be in the 90s today.
I know.
Yeah. Yesterday we set a record.
Yeah.
Today they say it'll probably set another record.
Right.
And nobody wants to talk about global warming and climate change.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
It's true.
But guess what? Oh, I didn't say climate change.
Big weekend in Tullahoma.
Tullahoma was rocking
It
and
was
rolling this
yeah,
weekend.
everywhere.
We had homecoming game, which we won handily, which was great.
Fabulous.
We had the 41A downtown. And just all kinds of other things going on. Tennessee didn't get beat this weekend.
They did not get beat
They
because
did
they
not
didn't play.
And I went to see the movie Gone with the Wind that we showed at South Jackson Civic Center, and I waited 4 hours to hear Rhett Butler say, "Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn." But it was great.
It was
It
great.
was a great movie.
It was a movie, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It did have an intermission, but it was a long movie.
Yeah.
It was a long movie.
It's the best deal in town. If you ever see a movie going on at the Civic Center, it's $10. You get popcorn and you get a drink. You can't beat it.
You know, we went, well, I'll read this first and then I'll tell you you guess what we saw. Some in the pantry seeing that the silver shines, some in the bathrooms cleaning royal left-behinds, from those anointed, entitled from birth, as they earn respect from a hard life's work. So which ones are really noble?
Oh, you caught me. I don't know.
Which movie did we go see? Where do you think you'd go see a movie where someone would be cleaning up royal left-behinds?
Gone with the Wind.
How about
That happens
Downton
all the
Abbey?
time, but
Downton Abbey, yeah.
Of course.
Downton Abbey.
Oh, you went to see that?
Went to
Did
see
you like
Downton
it?
Abbey. I mean, Fran's a big Downton. She had a Downton Abbey party at South Jackson, raised funds, made
Yeah.
money.
It's amazing, yeah.
But no, I mean, it was interesting. But for those people who were hooked on that show, I mean, that place was. I was one of 3 men in a full theater.
Oh, really?
No kidding.
But I promised Fran I'd do that go with her for our
You're a
anniversary.
good man, John. You're a good man.
But I say that because we had 2 senior tickets, a medium popcorn, a hot dog, a water, and a Coke.
It cost you $500.
It was $43.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
$43.
And going to the movie is expensive.
They ought to just let you in
Yeah.
for free.
Are you saying it was $43 just for the food and
And
For 2 senior tickets.
oh, 2 senior tickets?
and
Gotcha. Okay.
popcorn and
Right.
maybe a drink.
The senior tickets, that was $24. They $12 a piece for a senior to go to a movie.
Yeah.
Well, they got to pay their bills just like everybody else. I remember that you could go for a quarter.
I went for 15 cents. But the
Yeah,
least
I remember
went
that
for.
too.
Yeah.
At the Marshall. You could take a quarter, you could go to the Marshall, you could pay your way in, have a small Coke, and 3 or 4 Jawbreakers because they were 2 for a penny.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first movie you ever saw?
Uncle Remus, Song of the South.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. Took
That-
Claudia Copeland.
Now it's banned, but it's a shame because it was a beautiful movie.
Yeah, Song of the South.
Story. It's a beautiful story. The first one
Brer Rabbit.
The first one I ever saw, my aunt took me. I must have been very small. It was Tweety Bird.
Tweety
Remember that
Bird,
cartoon?
Yeah.
Tweety Bird. And I was so excited.
I think the first movie I ever saw at the Marshall was Love Me Tender with Elvis Presley.
Yeah?
So.
Well, you see, I'm a couple of days older than you.
Just a couple.
But movies.
But you're still loving
yeah,
Peggy.
I still like movies. Yeah, I still like movies.
Oh, I love movies. I love movies. Movies are, movies are just like a good song. I mean, they tell a story. I mean, they really tell a story. And if you pay attention, you can learn so much by watching film.
Well, it's amazing how nice it is. Like at the Civic Center on the big screen, I didn't realize it would look that good. We were doing It's a Wonderful World. Is that it?
Wonderful Life.
A Wonderful Life, yeah.
At Christmas.
But it is a wonderful world.
Well, of course it's a wonderful
Anyway,
world.
A Wonderful Life, yeah. And we've done that for 2 years in a row. So if anybody wants to come, $10
That's at
gets
Christmas
you.
time.
Yeah, around Christmas time. I don't remember the date exactly, but anyway, it's been well attended. People
Yeah.
bring their families and.
And what else is going on down there? Elvis is going to be there this weekend, isn't
A
he?
Tribute to the King, it's called,
Yeah.
and it's
He's really not
Travis. He's fabulous. Travis LeDoit is doing this tribute
Elvis.
show. He's doing the early years of Elvis.
If he's not dead, he must be, what, 80 something now?
He's 80 something, yeah.
Mid-80s
Yeah.
or something like
Are you
that.
talking about Elvis?
Yeah.
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 This young man is doing the early years because he's still a young man. But he's wonderful. He's been called the best Elvis in the country.
Since Elvis.
Since Elvis.
I love it. Well, a lot of the tribute shows that are down there are just outstanding.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I thought the Jimmy Buffett group was better than Jimmy Buffett. I mean, sorry, Jimmy, but
They were wonderful.
Jimmy doesn't care because Jimmy is quite.
Jim's good with
he's
it,
quite
yeah.
wealthy now, and he probably doesn't
he
matter.
is
He doesn't
fabulous,
care.
yeah. But this group was great.
I remember seeing him, and it was funny watching the Ken Burns special on country music. There was one section toward the end of it they were talking about the exit in, and what the exit in was. It was a writing room or a playing room that somebody started, and Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark and Jimmy Buffett, and these people would go in there and play. And I saw Buffett there.
Yeah.
He's playing for tips.
Is Exit In
Yeah.
still there? I think it is.
I don't. I hadn't been down in that part of Nashville in a long time.
Something tells me it is.
It probably
still there.
is.
I've been there a few times.
But you don't hear as much about it as you once did.
Right.
But I went. That's where I went to see Leon Redbone.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
him.
Buffett opened for Redbone,
I saw Redbone at MTSU.
and he died recently.
I know, and I hate that.
Without my walking stick,
He had some interesting.
I'd go insane. I don't look my best. I feel undressed without my cane.
Yeah.
He had that old
He was just
bluesy
totally
sort of
different.
Yeah.
turn of the century sound, and ended up doing Budweiser commercials and you name it. He ended
Yeah.
up doing it. He was on Saturday Night Live one Saturday night with a tuba. And I saw him, first time I
he
ever
actually
saw
play it?
him. No, that was his accompanist. Him with a guitar and a
Oh,
tuba
and a
player.
tuba player, okay.
And so I actually saw him on Saturday Night Live, and we were getting ready to have our first year anniversary at Daddy Billy's. This is when we opened Daddy Billy 44 years ago.
God, that was a long time ago. I started this.
And so I called his agent to see what it would cost me to have him come to Daddy Billy's, and she said, well, last Friday it would have cost you about $1,000. And this was on Monday after he was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
It's $8,000
Yeah,
now.
but that's what happens.
Oh goodness.
And I couldn't afford $8,000 for him to come and play at Daddy Billy. 44 years ago, $8,000 was a bunch of money
Yes,
to
it was.
put somebody in a little honky-tonk place downtown Tullahoma.
Well, it's a little
Yeah,
But,
that was always one of the drawbacks to getting name acts
Yeah,
like
money.
that, because, well, you couldn't get enough people. The venues weren't big enough
No.
for you to make it work
Right, you
numbers-wise.
couldn't make it work, and that, we deal with that all the time at South Jackson.
Sure.
I get some good deals.
However, one time I told the manager of the band Alabama before they ever made it big, and that he wanted like $500 or $600 to bring the band in here. That's again before they had their first hit. And I said, well, it just doesn't work for me because I've got Tommy Shelton and Mayflower Compact in here that I'm paying $200 to. And the place is packed.
Yeah, so why should
I can't make it.
No need to buy into something
right,
else.
No.
So
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
It would have been cool. That was one of my
Would have been very cool.
bigger
Well,
mistakes,
I'll
probably.
tell you what, I know one thing. We have a lot of people that are going to be on the show today, a lot of cool guests, and our digital board over here telling us what we're supposed to do is, we're back to flip cards. I love this technology.
I do too,
we've
because
got
now we're back to
going
where
on.
we started.
Does that
Yeah.
mean we have a
And we
minute
did
left?
it. It seems like we did it better then than we do now. Less problems. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back and start bringing you some real information on the greatest show in Tullahoma. We've been doing this for 28 years, folks. Thanks for helping us stay here. Be right back.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to have joining me on the set now Judy Jenkins. And Judy is here today to talk about a big-time fun event, but it sort of helps a lot of people, Judy.
It does.
Not.
I am so excited. This is our 8th year of One Day of Hope. And One Day of Hope is a collaborative effort between all of the individuals in Tullahoma and Manchester and truly Coffee County. We have 600 volunteers and 80 churches that come to one location, Coffee County Fairgrounds, on Saturday, October the 12th. And what we provide will blow your mind. There's free clothing, there's free medical screening, there's free dental work. Now that, because I answered the telephone, for questions, you can call 931-222-5033. But those people that call me repeatedly say, I can't get my teeth fixed. I have no insurance. If you will come that day, a dentist will evaluate you and give you a card. Now, they don't do the procedures there because obviously dental work can be messy, and so they want to do it in a clean office. But they'll give you a card, tell you to go to their office, and services are free. 3,000 people show up on that one day, and we provide them with a free lunch. I can promise you that 5,000 hot dogs are going to be grilled that day. And that's the start of the lunch. We feed anyone that shows up. People like to line up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we don't open till 9. But we have a full day planned. Besides free medical and free dental, they get free clothing, they get free hygiene bags. And a lot of us don't think in terms of a bag filled with shampoo, razors, deodorant, soap would be helpful. But if you can't buy those items with food stamps and you don't have any money, this is a wonderful gift.
of course
and
it is.
all of these supplies are donated.
Right.
We're going to give free haircuts, and we have about 30 different hairstylists that will take care of that. And people get their haircut, and then they walk over to get a family portrait. And it was such a beautiful experience to have people say, I'm 60 years old, I've never had a family picture. So that's something to look forward to. We want to make sure that the children are not left out, so we have a kid zone, and it's fenced off. If the parent brings the child there, only that parent can pick up the child. So we provide some safety. We have inflatables, we have games, we have a few little science experiments that are going to go on, teaching things, and then each child is going to walk away with a gift bag. We thought they would really enjoy that. There'll be musical entertainment all throughout the day. This is a gift to the citizens that might need these services. And I don't know who they are. I'm not going to ask you for your ID. You can come from Virginia. If you need these services, please come. We've tried to think of everything. We want to make sure that you can understand what's going on, so we have translators. About 40 different people, maybe 4 or 5 different languages: Spanish, Filipino, Asian.
And you actually get folks who speak those
We
languages.
do.
I assume.
We have translators, and they will go with the family to help them through each one of the stages to make sure they understand why they're standing in line to get food or why they're standing in line to get something else. We give away clothing, winter coats, children's coats, shoes, work boots for men that need steel-toed shoes. Truly, if we run out of something, if you'll leave your name and a phone number, we'll go out and purchase that item, because we don't want someone to not get a job because they can't buy the work boots.
Right.
And we have job counselors going to be out there. About 7 or 8 different companies have decided they want to come. They're doing like a little job fair. They'll actually hire, they'll do interviewing. We have people that can help with resumes. So our goal is to provide opportunities in a central location that people, can get to. Some of the other things that are really important, we have organizations like Life Choices that will be there for counseling. We have Tennessee Reconnect, something I didn't even know a program existed.
Right.
If in Tennessee you have started working on a college degree and family troubles, money, whatever, has stopped that education, Tennessee Reconnect will get you restarted again with some help. On top of that, we like to give away books to children. Last year I think we gave away 3,000 or 4,000 books. Some of them in Spanish, some of them, just gifts from individuals or gifts from churches. The last thing I wanted to talk about is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. It is not a religious event, and even though I mentioned churches and volunteers, it's people giving of themselves out of the love for their community. Some of us have been blessed, some of us have had more challenges. And so at the very end, we offer a prayer tent. It's a voluntary thing. If you want to go in, over 2,000 people went into the prayer tent and said, please pray for me. I'm having so many difficulties.
Oh my goodness, 2,000.
2,000 people. Now, 2 walked in and on that day said, I want to commit suicide. My troubles are so great. Well, we have counselors there, and we immediately eased the individual over to the counselor. They came back and said, thank you for giving me hope again. That's why it's called One Day of Hope. We hope that you will truly come, and we will treat you as the most honored guest that you can possibly be. And one woman, after getting a haircut, a family portrait, all of her various bags, said, I felt special today, and it hasn't been that way for many, many years. Now, I have some handicaps myself, so we've tried to think about things like that. The individuals that come out might be in wheelchairs, walkers, and canes, and so we have go-karts.
Oh.
And we will help you with your bags, put you in the go-kart, take you to your car. So I hope, truly hope we've thought of everything. It's just a great event.
This is, and it's a huge event. And
It's a big one.
How long does it take you guys to organize all this?
It takes us one solid year.
Yeah.
And there are 9 board members, but as I said, 80 churches participate. They donate money. We use the money to buy the food items.
That's it.
The hygiene items are donated from, in fact, a woman called me last night and she said, well, will 250 sets of razors do? I said, oh yes, oh yes. So they give of their heart, they give of their generosity. But the bottom line for all of us is we want to give. If you do not have hope for the future or hope for today, your life can be pretty bleak. And so that's what our dedication is, and we just really, really want Coffee County residents to come join us that Saturday, October the 12th at Coffee County Fairgrounds. Please come and be treated so special and leave with a feeling of hope again. That's our desire.
All right, that's October the 12th. That's not this Saturday.
It's in the following. Yep.
Following Saturday. Super idea. And
Thank you
my
so
hats
much.
off to you folks for all you guys do.
It's so worth it. We are exhausted at the end of the day, but we know we've done a really good thing.
Absolutely.
For Coffee County.
All
Thank
right, thank you. All right, folks, we'll be right back in just a moment.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Hey, I'm back. We're working here. Leave us alone. I've got a friend of mine up here, Molly Gerwie King, and she is just delightful. And if you remember, she and her family had the Miller Brewing Company here in Tullahoma for years. The distributor, it's Mid-South distributor, which Rick sold to Cherokee. And my young friend here went on a journey, and she went into the banking business for a little while and didn't really enjoy that much, I don't think, and she was looking for something to do, and John Glutch, who has been around here for years and years, had a embroidery business, and you'll see as we show a fuller shot here, a lot of these things and so you went to work for him for what, 3 or 4 months?
Just for a couple months, yeah. Just to kind of
see if you liked it.
See if I like it, see if it was something I wanted to try.
And fell in love with it.
Love it.
And so what Molly has done is she bought John's business and has gone in the building that, give the address.
It's 401 South Washington Street.
Okay, now to tell you where that is, if you go down and look at the front of Cherokee, and you look all the way past the next street, and there's this big building way in the back, and that's where she is. But how you get there is you go past Builder Supply and take a left right past Builder Supply and go around and up, and you're up on the left. Or when you come over the viaduct, headed toward Manchester, you can take a left right there where Vise used to be, where Jackie Duncan lives.
That's right.
And you're down there on the right. And so what happened was, if you look at the shirt she has on and look at the shirt, there you go, right there. My sister-in-law, Candy Couch, said to me one day, do you realize that Tullahoma has the word home in it? And we just thought that was cool, so I came back over here and I developed this logo which says Tullahoma, and then it's spelled properly, Tullahoma, where I call home, and with the little house there, and that is the newest reference to people who love Tullahoma. And that's where we call home. And once you get here, you'll call it home forever.
That's right, you will.
And so Molly helped me in the production, Candy and me in the production of these shirts, and I just wanted to bring her on to thank her, because this is a different kind of an odd design, because I drew it, I did it with a pencil, and then filled it in, pencil, and she took that and at her place over there and put it on the computer and got it all figured out for us, and found this shirt color is blackberry. And I wanted something that wasn't normal. Of course, that's me. And Molly started bringing out colors, and she said, well, what about this blackberry? And we just love it. Love the color, and it has a tan print on it. So I just can't thank you enough for doing what you did.
Thank you.
And so we just want you to know that if you need something printed, let's show some. Well, evidently, Tullahoma Housing Authority works with you.
Tullahoma Utilities.
I mean, yeah, utility,
Yes.
Utility Authority. And of course, here's Molly's logo. It is logo wear, and it's silk screening, and embroidery. And then here's an apron. So anything that you can imagine, they can do.
Yeah, backpacks for schools. We love to get involved in the schools, sports, companies. We can pretty much embroider or silk screen.
So here's the Power Tee right here. And I noticed when you go down to Molly's place down there, she has a wall of fame in there.
I do.
Which we happen to be on now with our new T-shirt. But she did the Sundrop Shop shirt. She did build all kinds of different. Give us some ideas of some of the people in there on the wall. I can't remember.
Well, Paige at Sundrop Shop has been great to deal with. I do Elk River, Tullahoma Utilities, Smead,
Builder
Supply, Palmer Food Service.
So just anybody. Anybody.
And I do stuff for the wrestling team, the baseball team. I can do any local schools. Doesn't have to just be Tullahoma. I can do surrounding areas, Moore County, Shelbyville, Fayetteville. I love doing anything.
Well, I just want you folks, because you watch television, and we all do, and you see all these print companies on television showing you all the things that they can do, because you're getting ready to have a T-shirt to honor your granddaddy in a walk or some event. Why in the world would you send your money to somebody out of town to do work for you when we have a business right here in town who can do it for you just as cheaply and just as good, and you're spending money at a place where you call home, Tullahoma. And that's what they need to do.
All the work is done here locally. We do the silk screening, the embroidery, all the artwork, everything is done here. So.
And you can bring in like a backpack, the little thermoses, cups, just whatever anybody wants in the marketing side of your business, or in the philanthropic side of your life, this young lady right here can take care of it for you. I just, after doing business with her, and I've known her for a long, long time and her family, but I just wanted to take an opportunity to bring her on and tell her two things. How proud of her I am, and how excellent a job you did on my project, and she will do your project just as well. I'll guarantee you that.
I will.
So,
thank you.
Logo where?
Logo where?
Where?
401 South Washington Street, here in Tullahoma.
Phone number?
Phone number is 931-222-4103.
And I'm sure they can go pull up Logo Wear on Facebook,
We're on Facebook.
Or wherever you think.
I have a website, logoweartullahoma.com. I said Facebook, or just come see me. I'll be glad to put something together.
That's right. And she will, and you can see her on Friday night in Nolensville, where we want all of you people to come, because she has a young son on the Tullahoma High School football team.
I do.
And so we're on Friday nights, we spend a lot of time together. So I just want to remind you again, Molly King, Logo Wear, local business. We all talk about shop local, shop local.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Ikonen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back. I have Marilyn Howard with me today, Alderman, and Pastor Alex Robertson. And we're going to talk about a day of fasting and prayer. 10-10. Take over, Marilyn.
Yes.
What's happening then?
Well, on September the 18th, our governor made a historic announcement. He said that he appreciates all the prayer that people give, and so he and his wife are going to pray that day, and he's going to make a proclamation in the days ahead that October the 18th will be a day of fasting and prayer. So so we're looking forward to churches across this county and this state, and people, even if you're at your workplace, that you will set aside this day as a day of fasting and prayer. And whether it's individually getting in your closet or at work, just at gathering at break time, but this is a need for our state, and I'm so joining in with this. I know that Mayor Cordell is going to join in, and it's just a wonderful thing for our state and for the citizens. I know in my own personal life that with families I know, day after day I'm hearing, tragedies, I'm hearing needs, and I'm with Tennessee Governmental Prayer Alliance, and I'm in government. I know what it's like to have people to pray for me, and things that really turn around when I have those people praying.
You're right. Why did I say 10-10? What was that about?
It is 10-10.
And you said 10-18.
Well, September the 18th when he made the historic announcement.
But
it's in Tennessee, 10-10.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so that's the day of prayer and fasting.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
And you can stop at any time and pray.
Yes.
You don't have to be with a crowd. You can just stop in your kitchen if you're making breakfast and say to yourself, I don't really have to eat this today. I'll stop and pray.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And for more information, you can go on Governor Lee's Facebook page, and he has an announcement there. It's very thorough, it's very informative, and it's very encouraging.
And you say, is it Governor Lee at, or is it just Governor Lee?
Well, I didn't bring my phone up here. I didn't want to be rude, but if you go to Facebook and you put in Governor Bill Lee, his Facebook page will pop up, and that announcement is on that Facebook page.
And that's the best place probably to find the information and remember it, and put a big thing on your wall right now. Get your chalk out and write it on your chalkboard if you have one.
Yes.
So when you come to this day yourself, do you have a plan for it, or do you just automatically will stop and pray and think about all the people that need prayer?
For me personally, this day is, I never announce how I'm fasting. I mean, I will fast. People may say, how are you fasting? And, there's sometimes you look at somebody, well, they're doing water all day long, and I'm not. However, I'm led to fast that day, but I will be in my prayer closet personally. I know that Canvas Community Church is opening its doors. I will go to their event. That's a community invited event. It's not just for Canvas Community. I will go there. I will gather with my husband to fast and pray. I will pray for the needs of the poverty in our county and state. I will pray for those in addiction. I will pray for those that are struggling in the secret life of sexual walk or whatever. There's so many needs. So many needs. Yes.
And Pastor, will you do this in your church? Will you invite people in that day, or will you observe this on your own?
All of the above.
All the above. Okay.
All the above. Yes, we will be joined with Canvas, and they will have their prayer room open throughout the day and have a special service that evening.
Where's your church?
Ma'am, we worship 12 feet above my living room at 565 Circle.
All right.
And the Mayor Cordell, his family, and I worship together, as well as some more people. We've been together for many years. So we're really excited that our governor would call a fast. Many people don't realize, but America started by the Pilgrims calling a fast in Holland before they came to America.
Before they came to America.
Asking for God's favor and blessing to spread the gospel in a new land. And that was in Ezra 8:21. That's the verse they used. So we are excited. Our governor is calling this fast, and we're going to join him, and we're going to pray for our state. We're going to pray for our county. Obviously, our communities need it because we have had tragedy here in the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks with young people.
It's terrible.
So we encourage people to join us because God hears our prayers, and we're going to humble ourselves before Him and seek His face and ask for His favor and blessing because we need it.
And I can tell you're passionate about this, and I can tell that you are really sincere. And will you fast all day?
I will. What I will do personally, I will fast from sundown Wednesday to sundown Thursday.
So
well, actually, till after
like
we get
the 9th through the 10th?
I will fast, yes.
Or the 10th through the 11th?
The 10th, the 9th into the 10th, but I will wait and break my fast after our service on Thursday evening. So that's what I'm personally going to do.
What do you think that fasting actually does? Does it just causes you to, because you're hungry, to stop and think more? Is that what you think?
For me personally, it surrenders my flesh, and I'm more focused on how I'm led by the Holy Spirit to do things. That there is just that awareness of other people, and I'm just surrendering my flesh that day.
It's a great commitment, and certainly this nation needs prayer.
Yes.
Uplifting in many, many ways. And October 10th, the 10th month, the 10th day, beginning as you crawl out of bed that day until at least 24 hours should be the goal.
Well, some people will fast a meal.
Yeah.
Some people that I personally know will eat certain foods that day, but not
other things,
not sugary things. So if you need help fasting, go on Google. It will help you. It's easy. It's not that hard. We are not professional fasters, okay? But we are led to fast here, and we're going to because we need a breakthrough in our land.
We need some kind of breakthrough in our land, and I think everybody can use a prayer and hope everywhere. There's lots of turmoil in many lives. A lot of people walking around with a smile on their face. We don't have a clue what's going on in their lives.
True.
And to stop and take time to pray for that person or to just commune with nature, it's all positive. And so you're going to spread the word through are all ministers involved in this in our community, would you say?
Well, I'd like to make a comment is like on National Day of Prayer, our president and every president has signed a proclamation, and I've had people say, how can government step in? Isn't that a church and state issue? But a president or a governor can make a proclamation. And I'm asking that churches step in and get involved in this.
Good. Our time is running out. Any last words you want to say?
Join us.
Join us?
Yes.
Join us.
Yes. Join
October
us.
10th.
October 10th.
Fasting and prayer for everyone. Thank you, guys.
That
is wonderful what you do.
We appreciate this.
So
Thank you.
Say a prayer for me, okay?
I will. Hey,
we'll be back.
We will.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, the two of us are back again. You know, I didn't get a chance to say how much I think, how cool you look in your black and white dots and your white hair.
If it wasn't for black and white, I would be dead.
I told when Peggy came in today, I said, you know, Peggy, you absolutely look like a star. And I went, oh, that's right, you are one.
Thank you, John.
You've been a star in our life around here for a long time.
Stringy things on me that get caught in everything.
Well, speaking of stars, one of the biggest stars and one of the people that changed the music industry forever was Elvis Presley.
Really?
And
you remember Elvis? I mean, when he first came out.
I remember.
You're not as old as me,
remember my aunt from Louisiana came up here, and we watched Perry Como on Sunday night, and she said, I was watching Perry Como, and she said, turn over to Ed Sullivan. And I said, we don't watch Ed Sullivan. We watch Perry Como. And she said, well, by damn, you're watching Ed Sullivan tonight because Elvis Presley's going to be on there. First time he was ever on television.
And I watched that also, and they would not show him below the waist.
They wouldn't show that locomotion.
That's right.
They didn't want their daughters to see that.
Yeah. I was all about it at the moment.
Everybody was. Yeah. So what's going on?
Oh, this weekend, Saturday night at South Jackson Civic Center, we have Travis LaDoit coming here with his band, and they're doing a tribute to the King.
Elvis, yeah.
And what they're doing is tributing Elvis's music in the early years.
Yeah, because when Travis is a younger guy.
Right. He is a handsome guy.
I bet he is.
And he has been acclaimed as probably the best of all Elvis artists.
Best Elvis since Elvis.
Yeah.
And do we have a clip of him?
I think we do. I think we have a clip of him.
Then we'll come back and give you the info.
Yeah, whenever they're ready to. Anyway, you can get tickets to South Jackson Civic Center, 455-5321, or southjackson.org online. I'd say that's the safest place.
Are you there, Elvis? Are you there?
Sure, ready to get ready. Now go, can't go, but don't you sell my blue suede shoes. No, you can do anything to love my blue suede shoes.
Well, my name is Travis LaDoit, and I guess what most people would say I'm an Elvis impersonator. But I don't like to say impersonator because it brings up a lot of negative images, I think. So many people have attempted to do what I do for a living, and backyard parties and stuff, and the VFW, and a lot of people have given it a bad name. But what I basically do is a tribute to Elvis in around 1956 to 1960, when he was young, when he was in his prime, and we do it with an authentic four-piece band.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I find a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street. It's Heartbreak Hotel where I'll be so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I've been so lonely, I could die. Now the bell tears keep flowing. The dress in black. Well, they've been so long down Lonely Street. Well, they never look back, and they'll be so lonely. Well, they'll be lonely, yeah. They'll be so lonely. They get down.
We sincerely love the music, love Elvis, and we just want to take people back to 1956, or people that haven't been there, to show them what it's like. You know, if you compare this music to stuff out today, you don't see what the big deal is. You know, it's like, how is this different? But if you listen to what was going on back then, the music that was going on, you see how different he really was. He was a rebel first time.
tail. With rain sails, they began to whale. They was jumping and the jump began to swing. You should have heard knocked out Jeb Brush sing. Everybody left. Everybody in the whole circle was dancing through the jet.
You know, people say you must have studied footage and all this so much, and there isn't a lot out there from the 50s. There's some TV shows and there's some camera shots they did of him on shows, but there's not a lot. And I have studied that, but I think for the most part, it's like I understand in a way that you can't put into words what he's feeling up there or what he's doing.
You ain't nothing but a half dog. You cry here all the time. You ain't nothing but a hand dog. We're crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rat. You ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a half.
I would like for them to feel like that is it. This is what it would have been like. I want them to feel like they were back then, back in 1956 for a little while, and believe, and let themselves believe. And I can't say what they think when they're out there. It's hard to read them. You know, people can be very quiet, and you think they're not into the show, but they'll say after they didn't know what to do or to think. You know, they just. They thought it was real convincing. You think about it now, the music it's about 50 years ago, you know, when this all happened. So it's great to see the music is timeless, I think. And I think Elvis is too.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. We're mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. When I first saw you, with your smile so tender, my heart was captured, my soul surrendered. I spent a lifetime.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Elvis going to be at South Jackson Civic Center this Saturday night.
This Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Honestly, he's a really nice young man, and he lives, I think, in Nashville now.
Right.
Or at least part of the time. And we're looking forward to him arriving and just enjoying his show. So if you're an Elvis fan, or if you just like some good music, come on down to South Jackson Civic Center. And southjackson.org is a real good place to get your ticket, so it's already in your hand and you don't have to stand in line.
There you go.
Yeah.
With that said, we'll be right back.
Right now are $20, but they'll be a little more.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm with my friend Alan Harris, and Alan is the commander of the American Legion here in Tullahoma, Post 43, and the reason I wanted Alan to be here is because in recent events, two things happened. One, our national commander of the American Legion was in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
That's right.
Not the state commander,
that's right,
but the national commander.
I think this was a opportunity of a lifetime, and I didn't really plan it. It's just that the state adjutant, Dean Tuttle, put out a net call to everybody and say, hey, we want to stay in Middle Tennessee. What are your recommendations? And I told him, two things. I said, first of all, he can't come to Middle Tennessee without stopping by Miss Mary Bobo's and eating lunch and then touring that little old Podunk distillery over there.
Yeah.
And then before I knew it, I was on the itinerary for the national commander to stop by. And it was a great event, well attended. The mayor was there, the fire chief was there, representative from Air Force Base was there. We just had a great turnout, a good, the junior ROTC, Colonel Johnson.
Colonel Johnson was
he
there.
Was there
with some of his cadets.
With some of his cadets. It was just a near perfect event. The weather was a little hot, but he was very accommodating. His staff was very accommodating. We sat there for about 30 minutes with a question and answer session. And he covered three things that I would like to talk about, if you don't mind.
That's why you're here, my friend.
Very quickly, the three things that we covered during that Q&A session was, first, number one, the Mission Act, which was passed earlier this year and signed into law. And in a nutshell, it allows veterans who are seeking health care to visit their local clinics to get the work done, and the cost is borne by the Veterans Administration. So that's the law part of it. The actual implementation is a little bit more dicey than that. So I'm working with Rich Ellis and others to try to flesh out exactly what does that mean for a veteran to be able to get health care in Tullahoma paid for by the Veterans Administration.
And for that to work, the health care facility has to agree to take what the Veterans Administration is willing to pay.
That's my understanding. So that's the you know, the little iffy part. But I think if we work at it and we get the word out, particularly, I mean, we have veterans here that are three that I am aware of that are 100 years old this year.
Yeah.
And so they just can't hop in the car and drive themselves to Murfreesboro to the nearest clinic to get work done on. So that's one of our key goals for this year. The second one is the Legion Act. And Legion is, in this case, doesn't stand for American Legion, although it was sponsored by the American Legion. It was an act that was signed into law in June, which basically opens up membership to the American Legion to every veteran. Whereas in the past there were certain restrictions based on wartime service. And now if you are a service member, particularly in the modern day from World War II on, you are eligible to join the American Legion, which creates 4.2 million, I think is what he said,
yes,
in terms of new potential members for the American Legion. So we're very excited about that, trying to get a handle on it. We'll use this as a venue to
yes, we will.
Talk about if you're a veteran that felt like he or she was excluded in the past, it's certainly open to you now, and we would love to have you in Post 43 at 109 Northwest Atlantic Street. The third piece of information excuse me, late summer head cold. Third piece of information is there was a convention, a national convention in Indianapolis of the American Legion, and at some point during that convention, they amended a portion of the American Legion Auxiliary. Whereas in the past, the term wives was in the verbiage, which meant if you were a wife of a veteran, you were eligible to join the American Legion. Now,
auxiliary.
Auxiliary, yes, of course, thank you. Now that excluded, husbands of female veterans, and so they changed the word wives to spouses, and so that again opens up the opportunity for male spouses of female veterans to join the American Auxiliary. So we're excited about those three things that have happened in the 100th year of the American Legion. Finally, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, John.
I want you to take up all you need.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But finally, this being the 100th year of the American Legion, the Legion itself was born on March 15th, 1919. So we've been celebrating all year long the 100th anniversary of the American Legion, the centennial. And believe it or not, on November 8th, the American Legion Post 43 will be celebrating their 100th year of the charter. So we're going to do that during Veterans Day on November 11th, which is the following Monday. So we're going to tie all that together with our 100th birthday of Post 43. Hopefully, and I know this is going to happen for sure, but Veterans Day this year is also going to be the time where we celebrate the Phase 2 completion of the Garden Club's Veterans Memorial at History Park. So if the weather is good to us, we will have a celebration at the Veterans Memorial at History Park, followed by a luncheon at the American Legion for veterans and their families. And we'll have a short program that recognizes and honors our 100th year in existence. And oh, by the way, we do plan to join the Chamber of Commerce that day.
All right.
So we're inviting the Chamber of Commerce folks to come by and be with us for that event.
Well, Alan, and with all of the things that are going on nationally in politics and the way people are treating each other and just the tenure and tension of what's going on, the current administration got a bill signed that allows 4.5 million veterans to be able to take advantage of the things that being a member of the American Legion offers them. And I think that is pretty incredible that's been looming out there for all these years, and a lot of veterans who weren't able to be served and weren't able to feel comfortable in comradeship with other veterans are now part of all of this because of what this current bill is opening up to them, and I think that is just an outstanding thing. And this man right here is leading our American Legion post right now, and we're bringing back a little bit of pomp and circumstance, which adds validity to it to me. Not so much that you're gonna get bored with it, but there's certain things that need to be done when you have certain types of meetings that make you feel like it's bigger and better and above and beyond some other stuff.
Well, I appreciate
and that's what you're doing, and I appreciate it very much. And our building's right there on Atlantic Street in Tullahoma, and our meetings are
fourth Tuesday of every month at 6:00 p.m. And our meetings last about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the agenda that we have.
Right.
But come by and join us. I think you'll find that this American Legion is truly a veteran service organization that works for you.
That's right. And thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for taking command of our Legion post and bringing it back to respectable. And not that it was ever not respectable, but
it's different.
It's different, and we want to make great strides within the community and what we do. And it's because of you.
Looking
helping
forward to
you.
it.
And he needs help. We all need help, but the American Legion needs your help as well. Yep, we didn't go away. We just moved to a different location. We'll be back after these messages.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
It was us. We let the dogs out. Bark in the Park is Saturday, November 2nd from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Come out and help support the Tullahoma Animal Shelter's Medical Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contests, grooming, pup paw art, a bounce house, and more. Contact Jeff Wilson at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter to learn more.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman, and this is
Pat Welch, and we're here for the 13th installment of Conversations with John and Pat. 13, yeah. John, and it's not going to be unlucky. You're going to remember your song lines.
Lots of times these
We've only
words,
had one time we had trouble.
Only one song out of the number that we've done. And I just politely laid my guitar down, as you remember, and said, let's start again some other day.
It was deft the way you did that. It was just really,
right.
really handled it well,
Well, I've
John.
been playing a long time, and I've done things like that before.
Oh, yeah. You've been practiced up.
I want to sing one about two snake doctors and a butterfly. That sounds like a real cultural type of song.
That's me and you, cultural.
Out in the middle, fill a 2:30 with a case of shells and a bucket of brew, an empty game sack and a 12-gauge gun. Gonna shoot me doves until I get me a ton. Well, the fence rows are lined up with good old boys, shooting their guns with a terrible noise. Zoom go the birds and pow go my shots, but I only hit places where the doves are not. Well, I keep on shooting and my gun gets hot, but the birds that fall are not the ones I shot. For all I bring down from the sunny sky is just two snake doctors and a butterfly. Well, two snake doctors and a butterfly is all I brought down from the sunny sky. It's enough to make a grown man cry. Two snake doctors and a butterfly. Sneaking up behind us, the game warden comes, says, empty them sacks, let me see what you done. He takes one look and he howls with glee, you're the worst darn shooter that I ever did see. My wife says, honey, I'm ready to cook, but I can't find the recipe in my book. I don't know whether to bake or fry these two snake doctors and a butterfly. Well, two snake doctors and a butterfly is all I brought down from the sunny sky. It's enough to make a grown man cry. Two snake doctors and a butterfly. I think we'll have to dedicate that to hunters in this community. My son Chris hunts. I know Joe Lester's a hunter. Mike Green?
Mike Green is. Bush Toma. They've got a duck hunting club in Arkansas that it takes a whole lot of prestige to be invited into that crew.
You don't mean it.
They've got a second generation of young men going over there with them now.
Well, our church has wild game dinners, and that they invite hunters, people that come in to enjoy the wild game meals, and so there are a lot of hunters. We can't mention them all because there are just so many that do that. Frankly, I don't enjoy it that much, so I'd rather just be back at the cabin cooking the meal for whoever's hunting, I guess.
Well, you mentioned Joe Lester, and he hunts far and wide. There's a story we definitely can't tell on the air about hunting doves in Argentina, and I've seen a picture of that hunt, and there's doves stacked up like.
You don't mean it.
Oh, it's incredible, and they shared it with the people there that needed food.
Is that right? It's great.
Where are we going, John?
Well, we've got a friend named George Orr that is certainly someone that all Tullahoma remembers, and he was from Chapel Hill. He was from my hometown of Chapel Hill, so
proud of it.
And proud of it. And George and I had a good relationship, and you did. He liked us because we made fun of him. We go to Rotary, and they would mention, and we have visiting today from the Morning Sunrise Club, Mr. George Orr, and everybody would boo.
The only Rotary's pretty prim and proper, and he's the only guest or club member at one time that was ever booed, but he really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. He loved being booed.
Yeah.
But George is, there's a picture of George sitting on his porch over there at Courtside, and Laura, in his failing years there, Laura invited Pat and Beth and Barb and my wife and myself over to have a meal with George that night. We had a great time. That was George, that particular
And we had a fish
night.
Fry from fish that came out of one of your ponds.
Yeah,
and
I'm going to find that at Normandy.
That had kind of a country feel that George really did enjoy that.
I remember once I gave George a mess of fish. He loved fried fish. Well, Laura was a great cook, and I put them in a bowl about like that, and when she returned that bowl, of course she had cleaned it, but there was a banana pudding in that bowl that was out of this world. But Laura was a good lady, and George a good fella. You just had to know how to take him.
Yeah, not too seriously at times, but he was a character. He, not too many segments ago, John, you talked about Bessie, the cow that you'd written about. Bessie, the cow on George's home farm when he was in high school, let him down one night, and that George played football at Chapel Hill, and I imagine this powerful built, kind of stubby like he was, he's probably a pretty good guard, and that's what he was a guard, but he would have, before practice and games, he had to go home and milk. And on a game night, Bessie was not very cooperative, and George was late getting back to the dressing area, and the coach was really upset about it, and told him to dress as fast as he could. And right before they were to go out, George still hadn't had his shoulder pads on, and for punishment, the coach made George play a first half of a high school football game with no shoulder pads. And I bet that was a real sight to see him pulling on those old single wing type plays with no face mask and no shoulder pads.
George Orr, there won't be many people like him that ever, of course he was mayor of Tullahoma
for
several
terms.
We love George, and we love Laura too, and we're just glad we could mention his name.
Laura was and easier to love than George was, but both of them were great people.
Great couple.
And that, it looks like to me, is from the signs from the production crew. We're winding up segment 13, and John, it was not unlucky. It was a great segment, but
Yes,
it's not
sir.
the rest. It's not the end of the stories. We've got more to come, as long as the P-head people say we can do it.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Mane. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I've just met the most interesting person. You're going to love her. This is Georgine.
Yes.
She is an artist in many different genres of art, which I just found out, and she's fixing to be part of an exhibit at our art center here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and it's just across from the Civic Center, so you can't miss it. What time is it?
Well, it's for the Tennessee Craft. It's this Tennessee Craft South. It's the celebration of it, and they're going to have an exhibit with many different type of artists. You know, there'll be potters and porcelain people.
And this is at the center in Tullahoma.
Yes, at the Art Center in Tullahoma. It's Saturday, October 5th, and it's from reception, free food.
That's always good, free food, don't forget.
Food.
I think you get in for free if you belong to the art center.
Yes.
And otherwise, I think,
like
is there a $5?
It's $5.
Just to help the center stay open.
Right.
And it's well worth it.
And the exhibition will be on from the 5th of October to the 26th.
Almost a month.
Yes, almost a month.
But the reception is from 2 o'clock until 5.
Right, on Saturday.
And everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Bring your family, and it's a great opportunity. You have all different types of crafts and art.
Right.
And for sale.
Oh, absolutely. And like these ears.
Oh, that's cute.
Earrings.
That's right. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but it's real pretty.
Yeah, that was from an exhibit from the Tennessee Craft.
Great day to shop for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Lots of things in there.
Shop
and
local.
The beauty of the things that show up in my mind at the art center, they're real things. They're not just junky things. You know, some really, really nice things.
Yeah, there'll be people who just saw a demonstration on natural dyes
Oh, that's
and they
interesting.
make into silk and
Wow.
cotton and
So there's
linen.
lots of different
you-
mediums.
they're- You know, they just pick up some beautiful wood and they just transform it into beauty.
I know. Well, let's talk about you. I was just so excited to find that you came out of New York and moved all the way to Estill Springs.
Yeah, Estill Springs. Who would know?
I know. Who would have figured that out? Do you find it a wonderful place to do your artwork?
I love the people. And
friendly?
Friendly, warm. They're very approachable. They get excited, and you know, and they love art.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about Middle Tennessee is that people are friendly.
Yes.
People do love you.
Yes.
And that's
honest.
a good feeling.
Yeah. And I love the countryside, and you know, I started doing a series of Tennessee landscapes.
And I think you've brought one of your and we'll show it. Oh, there it is. Tell me, what is that? Just since you moved to Tennessee?
Yeah, actually, I just finished it about a week ago.
Is that a scene that you actually saw?
Yes, yes. This is a farm, Bell Meadows Farm up in Wartrace, and
Beautiful.
they have about 600 beautiful acres up there.
I know it's pretty in Wartrace.
And they have about 300 head of steers. They're in the steer market, and I just love this tree. And it's, you know, I tend to be a romantic type of landscape painter.
It's beautiful.
And the sunsets and the sunrises.
And I notice how you've blended the color to make it subdued in a way.
Yeah.
And it gives you cause to think. I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
You want to tell me how much it's selling for?
At $1,500.
Well, I understand
I mean,
that.
that's what
fine art. I imagine that you've spent many, many, many hours.
Yeah, that
putting
it's
that
layers.
together. How long does it
upon
take you to do a piece of work like that?
That one was about 3 weeks.
And do you set a time aside every day to paint?
I do. I'm very
The reason I
disciplined.
ask that, I think you have to.
Yeah.
Regardless of, a lot of people have told me that they do their things just at odd, random times, but I personally think you have to set aside to be successful.
What I do is I have a little sketchbook, and I'll go out. I'll take pictures, or somebody will send me a picture, and I do a sketchbook, and I, you know, have a design and composition, and then I'll do a 5x7 with painting, finding my darks and lights, and then I'll go to another size, finding other things, and then I'll go to, you know, what it looks right, and where, you know, there'll be problems in it.
When did you start painting?
I remember I discovered that I was an artist when I was in first grade, looking at the alphabet.
That's beautiful.
Now, I thought everybody else saw what I saw.
And they didn't see it.
I saw, of course, you know, girls and horses. I saw the H. Oh, it looks like a horse.
Yeah.
You know, and you look like...
And so you had a horse to
you know,
draw.
So I would draw a letter.
And so did you study art?
I was...
Or are you a natural artist?
Well, both.
Both.
And I was lucky I had mentors who, you know, I would take a workshop, and they took me aside and said, you know, I'd like to mentor you. And I was very, very...
I think really great art teachers allow you to be yourself with your work, but they give you ideas. Is that true?
Yeah, and like I really got my palette together by my recent, you know, mentor, and also you find shortcuts and try, you know, you go over the thing. And also I wanted to learn a traditional art. I mean, I appreciate any type of art.
I know you're a sculptor.
Yeah.
Let's just throw that out there for people that are looking for a piece of sculpture. And you take orders,
I do portraits.
You know what? We've only got 12 seconds.
That's okay.
So let's remind everybody that this Saturday from 2 until 5, there is the reception for several artists, lots of stuff for sale at the Tullahoma Art Center. Georgette, what a delight you are.
Know.
I hope you'll come back.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, Peg, we're back, and God, what a great
fast,
show today.
I know. I love some of the people I met.
We've had music, we've had art.
We've had the church, and
We've had-
remember the prayer and fasting,
and Starve
which is
Day.
on the 10th day of October.
We've had Elvis.
We've had Georgette, who's a fabulous artist.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Alan
Elvis
Harris.
Saturday night. Don't forget Alan Harris. How I
Yeah,
love
what a
him.
great guy! What a
He is
great
a great
guy!
guy. They do
Don't
some-
forget your local American Legion, and don't forget us. Don't forget our sponsors. That's a very important thing.
Come and
you go
buy
by
an
and
ad.
see them and buy something while you're in there, and that'll make us all happy. Folks, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.